Twins are two offspring produced by the same pregnancy, while a multiple birth is the culmination of one multiple pregnancy, wherein the mother gives birth to two or more babies. Conjoined twins, sometimes popularly referred to as Siamese, are twins joined in utero. The occurrence is estimated to range from 1 in 130,000 births, with a somewhat higher incidence in Southwest Asia and Africa. Approximately half are stillborn, and an additional one-third die within 24 hours. Chong and Ing Bunker, born in 1811, were brothers from Thailand, formerly known as the Kingdom Siam. They traveled widely for many years and were labeled as the Siamese twins. Chong and Ing were joined at the torso by a band of flesh, cartilage, and their fused livers. In modern times, they could have been easily separated. Due to the brothers' fame and the rarity of the condition, the term Siamese twins came to be associated with conjoined siblings. Their condition is now medically known as zyphophagus. Conjoined twins are typically classified by the point at which their bodies are joined. The most common types is thoracoomphalopagus, which occur in 28% of cases, and having two bodies fused from the upper chest to the lower chest. These twins usually share a heart, and may also share the liver or part of the digestive system. Thoracopagus occur in 18.5% of cases, distinguished with two bodies fused from the upper chest to lower belly. The heart is always involved in these cases. As of 2015, separation of a genuinely shared heart has not offered survival to two twins. A designated sibling may survive if allotted the heart, sacrificing the other sibling. Parasitic twins occur at a rate of 10% and are asymmetrically conjoined, resulting in one twin that is small, less formed, and dependent on the larger twin for survival. Craniopagus, occurring in 6% of cases, is marked with fused skulls but separate bodies. These twins can be conjoined at the back of the head, the front of the head, or the side of the head, but not on the face or the base of the skull. A less common and rather gruesome type is cephalopagus. Twins in this case have two faces on opposite sides of a single conjoined head. The upper portion of the body is fused while the bottom portions are separate, but they generally cannot survive due to severe malformations of the brain. This case is also known as Yoniceps, after the two-faced Roman deity, Janus. Even rarer is syncephalus, where twins have one head with a single face, but four ears and two bodies. Cephalothoracopagus siblings have their bodies fused in the head and thorax. In this type, there are two faces facing in opposite directions, or sometimes a single face and an enlarged skull. Ischiopagus has two siblings fused lower half, with spines conjoined end-to-end at a 180 degrees angle. These twins have their respective arms and legs intact, and typically one shared external set of genitalia and anus. Parapagus twins are conjoined side by side with a shared pelvis. Rachipagus are joined along the back of their bodies, with fusion of the vertebral arches and the soft tissue from the head to the buttocks. A vanishing twin, also known as resorption, is a fetus that dies in utero, and is then partially or completely reabsorbed by the sibling or the mother, converting it to nutrients. In some instances, the dead sibling is compressed into a flattened, parchment-like state, known as fetus papyraceous. Vanishing twins occur in up to 1 of every 8 multi-fetus pregnancies, and may not even be known in most cases. High resorption rates may suggest the presence of intense fetal competition, due to space, nutrition, or other factors. A parasitic twin, also known as an asymmetrical or unequal conjoined twin, is the result of the processes that also produce vanishing and conjoined twins, and may represent a continuum between the two. Parasitic twins occur when an embryo begins developing in utero, but the pair does not fully separate, and one embryo maintains dominant development at the expense of its sibling. Unlike conjoined twins, one ceases development during gestation and is mostly formed, otherwise healthy. The undeveloped twin is defined as parasitic because it is wholly dependent on the body functions of the complete fetus. The independent twin is called the autocyte. Fetus in fetus is a phenomenon where one sibling grows within the other, and is surprisingly not as detrimental or fatal to the external sibling. The twin reversed arterial perfusion, or trap sequence, results in a parasitic sibling that fails to develop a head, arms and a heart. The parasitic twin, little more than a torso with or without legs, receives its blood supply from the host twin by means of an umbilical cord-like structure, except the acardiac twin is outside the oocyte's body. The blood received by the parasitic twin has already been used by the normal fetus, and as such is already deoxygenated, leaving little developmental nutrients for the acardiac twin. Because it is pumping blood for both itself and its twin, this causes extreme stress on the normal fetus heart. Many trap pregnancies result in heart failure for the healthy sibling. This twinning condition usually occurs very early in pregnancy. A rare variant of the acardiac fetus is the acardiozochormus, where the head is well developed but the heart and the rest of the body are rudimentary. A vestigial twin is a form of parasitic twinning, where the parasitic sibling is so incomplete that it typically consists of extra limbs or organs. It also can be a complete living being trapped inside the host person, however the parasitic sibling lacks consciousness. This phenomenon occurs when a fertilized ovum or partially formed embryo splits incompletely. The result can be anything from two whole siblings joined by a bit of skin, to one person with extra body parts belonging to the vestigial sibling. Most vestigial limbs are non-functional, and although they may have bones, muscles and nerve endings, they are not under the control of the host. The possession of 6 or more digits on the hands and feet, also known as polydactyly, usually has a genetic or chromosomal cause, and is not a case of vestigial twinning. Even rare among the conjoined is what is called dipygus. This is a severe congenital deformity where the body axis forks left and right, partway along the torso with the posterior pelvis and legs duplicated. One early example was Myrtle Corbin in the United States, born 1868. In human cases, the inner two of the 4 hindquarters develop much smaller than normal. This is a type of teres catadidymum, Latin for monster twinned below. Another sort of deformity with extra legs can happen from a degenerated conjoined twin, as may have happened with Frank Lentini with his 3rd leg. The Mochi culture of ancient Peru depicted conjoined twins in their ceramics, dating back to 300 CE. According to 9th century Byzantine historian Theophanes, in the village of Emmaus in Palestine, a child was born perfectly normal below the navel but divided above it, so that it had 2 chests and 2 heads, each possessing the senses. One would eat and drink but the other did not eat, one would sleep while the other stayed awake. There were times when they played with each other, but they only lived for a little over 2 years. One died while the sibling lived for 4 extra days and it too died, most likely due to septic shock from being attached to necrotizing tissue of the diseased sibling. It is difficult to draw the line between what is considered one person with 2 heads, or 2 persons that share a body. Abigail and Brittany Hensel, born in 1990, were given 2 distinct names at birth. They identify as 2 people, and are recognized as 2 people legally and socially. On the other hand, Syafatri, born 2006 in Indonesia, were given 1 name by their parents because they only had 1 heart. In early Germany, conjoined twins that could not be separated were legally considered 1 person. Many healthy conjoined individuals were often exploited in the entertainment industry, such as circuses and sideshows. The English sisters Mary and Eliza Chulkhurst, who were conjoined at the back and lived from the 1500s. They were perhaps the best-known early historical example of conjoined twins. Others that attained notice were the Pygopagus Hungarians, Helen and Judith of Sjoni, who enjoyed a brief career in music before being sent to live in a convent. Rita and Christina of Sardinia, born in 1829, were Dicephalus tetrabrachius, having 1 body with 4 arms. Although they died at only 8 months of age, they gained much attention as a curiosity when their parents exhibited them in Paris, France. Rudy Santos of the Philippines, born in 1953, was known by his stage name Octoman due to his parasitic twin. He is the oldest person ever recorded with this condition. During the 1970s and 1980s, Santos earned a living by appearing in freak shows. In 2008, he was examined by a Filipino expert in separation of conjoined twins, and a removal surgery was deemed viable, but Santos ultimately rejected it. He surmised at nearly 70 years old that he had grown too attached to his appendages to have them removed at this late in life.